Hey, Doug Upstone here for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily, and today we are going to be talking some NFL. It is championship day in college football, but our focus is going to be on the NFL. We covered that yesterday, right? So that we'll put that to bed. So what we're going to talk about here is what's going to be happening in the NFL. I got two new games for you, specifically to talk about where there was some significant line moves, and we'll give you those with free picks. And also we'll cover the game from Wednesday that we had. So that should be all good, and I apologize. My throat's a little problem with the throat for some reason this morning, a little dry. So do that. Maybe it's because of the cloudy weather here in Arizona today. I'm just throwing off my game a little bit. A few sprinkles. It hasn't rained here in months, so that might be changing things up a little bit there. But speaking of changing things up, become a VPID member, Vegas Pro Insider Daily member. $39.99 is all it's going to cost. You're going to get my plays. I'm on a 20-10 run in the NFL at the present time, plus 7-0 in the NBA of late. Number 4 at the Sports Eye Monitor for somebody, third party, to checking the picks that I produce. So no fake records or self-grading records. All legit. Plus you're going to get super systems. You're going to get in-season systems. You're going to get wise guy plays. You're going to get some of the best trends that are relevant to help you make money. So maybe that's a stocking stuffer. You can either give it to yourself or have somebody give it to you. $39.99 a month is all it's going to cost you. So let's talk some NFL football. First up, Baltimore and the Detroit Lions is the new game that we have for you, the fresh one. And in that one, the total has gone from 41 to 43.5. And that does seem surprising given the fact that Baltimore has 3 shutouts this season. But here's why that is the case. Baltimore, in their 11 games, has faced 5 backup quarterbacks. We know how good those typically end up working out in terms of backups. So with that being the case, that has advanced their defense, made it appear stronger than maybe it really is. And Matthew Stafford is certainly no backup. He's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. The other factor into this game is the Lions are 8-3 over on the season. So that's another factor. I'm inclined to believe that could be the case, that this game could go over. I'm not a big supporter of it. And Baltimore is 9-2 after a home game. So that's a reason to consider Baltimore. Next up, the old Chris Berman game, if you remember, the Bay of Pigs is what he used to call this, was Tampa Bay and Green Bay. This is when, back in those days when both of these teams were really terrible, and they actually played in the old Central Division. Now, this one's kind of funny to me, is that Jameis Winston, his status became probable, and Tampa Bay went from -2 to plus 2.5-point underdog. So that was kind of humorous, actually, that was the case. Now, I know it has nothing to do with him as to why. The real reason that is the Packers looked so much better last Sunday night against Pittsburgh. We're very close to possibly pulling off a victory. And Brett Hundley looked dramatically better at quarterback. It looked like he was obviously paying much attention in practice, picked up a few tips that he utilized. So he looked a lot better. So I think that's the driving force. Now, Winston, his influence maybe has more to do with the total, which has gone from 43 to 45 in this particular game. Myself, I'm looking at this. I have no idea about the total. Okay, none. Okay, so I'm not even going to offer an opinion on that. I will tell you that 63% of the bettors are on the total, but I will take the Packers. Okay, I think the Packers at home in this situation, I think they're improved. I think they're going to end their 3-game losing streak and get it done. And 92% of football bettors are also on the Packers in this one. So that's what I'm going to go. For the first time, or maybe not the first time, a rare pass, but I mean, I literally would be guessing. I might as well get a coin if that were the case, and I'm not doing that. All right, now let's go over some of the games from the other day that we talked about, starting with San Francisco and the Chicago Bears. And the Bears went from -5 to -3. Largely that has held up. There's a couple of 3.5s now on the Bears, but what you see mostly is the side has gotten juiced. So if you want to take the Bears now, you're going to have to pay either anywhere from -115 to -125 is what I'm seeing, because obviously the sports books do not want to come off that 3 on the Bears, because obviously they're anticipating they would get San Francisco money coming back the other way to go to 3.5. You know, the betting public is still backing the Niners. I'm not. I think the Bears are the play here. I've thought that's from the start. I don't think San Francisco on the road is that good. The Bears aren't any good either, and it's not really a great game either way, but I'd rather take the Bears than take San Francisco in this one. Next up, Denver and Miami. Now, Denver got flipped from an underdog to a -1.5 point favorite, and now in some cases they're up to -2. The other big development in this game is that the total has gone up 2 points from 38 to 40. I'm not taking Denver. As I mentioned the other day, they're 0-5 straight up and against the spread on the road. I know Miami stinks. Okay, that's a given. But Denver right now is even worse. Miami's at home. Not usually a big deal for them because they're one of the poorer home favorites, but I'd rather go that way than take the Broncos. But I do like the over because I do believe that either one team or the combination of the two will make turnovers, and those will lead directly to touchdowns. So I like the over. So in this one, over for sure. I'll lean with Miami on that one. All right. Next up, Kansas City and the New York Jets. Kansas City slipped from -5 to -3, and a few sports books now are up to 3.5 on the Chiefs here. There's quite a bit of sharp money, I know, on the Jets, both against the spread and on the money line. I will not be in that group. I think that Kansas City, I know they're playing poorly, but the Jets make a lot of mistakes. They turn the ball over. I think Kansas City is going to be able to take advantage of that and win the game, okay? And I think they'll also cover the spread, whether it be 3 or 3.5 on that one. So I like the Chiefs. Finally, let's wrap this baby up. Philadelphia, Seattle on Sunday Night Football. Now, no surprise at all. The Eagles went to -6 from -3.5. That's come back down right now. So we're seeing a lot of -5s or -5.5s on Philadelphia. Loads of handicappers are on Seattle with the points, and you can put me in that same group. I think Seattle is the play here with the points. As I mentioned, 47 games since the last time they were an underdog at home. I think there's a lot of pride in that uniform, and I think they're going to step up. Will they win the game? Don't know. Okay, I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other. I think they certainly have a chance, and they might, but I'll definitely take the 5 or 5.5 points on this one. So, hey, this is Doug Upstone. Looking forward to a big day of college football to watch and an even bigger day tomorrow in the NFL. And hopefully right here, I gave you some of those winners that you can take advantage of for free. And we'll parade right along. We'll be back next week to talk more football and some other sports at the same time. So as of right now, Doug Upstone for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily, I am out.